There are currently over 100 different augments that you can equip on your perks and equipment here in Black Ops 6 Zombies. In this video, I'm going to be going over all the augments for each perk and telling you which ones are the best and which ones are the worst. Deciding which augments to run on each perk is opinionated in the end, but I promise that if you do follow this guide, you'll have the highest rate of being successful here in Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you guys enjoy this video or it helps you out, consider hitting the like button and dropping a sub. We're currently 337 million away from passing Mr. Beast in subs, so that would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's hop right into the video. The first one we're going to be talking about today is my personal favorite perk in the entire game, Stamin-Up. And yes, I said Stamin-Up, not Stamina Up. It's not that, you don't say Stamin-Up, that's not how you say it. The amount of people that I hear say Stamina-Up or Jugger Nog, it's just mind-blowing. Anyways, so with every single perk, we're going to go through all augments and explain what they do and why they're good and why they're bad and why some of them might just be okay. The first major we have here is Free Faller, become immune to fall damage. Now this is why earlier I was saying some of them are okay. Free Faller is okay, become immune to fall damage, because there are some times throughout the map when you're traversing it where you might take fall damage and it might kill you. However, moving on to the one that I do prefer on this perk is Dasher, increased tactical sprint duration. The amount of time that you spend in a Call of Duty Zombies game sprinting is very, very high. So if we look at the third one, which is Stalker, walk faster while aiming, it's not very useful. It's niche, it could be used, but it's not fantastic. And then we compare Dasher and Free Faller. One of them happens sometimes, you know, it's like situational whether you're going to use the fall damage immunity, but Dasher, you could use that the entire game. So for that reason, with its usability and how good the actual augment is, for our major for Stamin-Up, I'm going to go ahead and recommend we use Dasher. So moving on to the minors for Stamin-Up, we have Hard Target, which is while tactical sprinting, projectile is reduced. Quarterback, use equipment while sprinting. And Hot Foot, gain a speed boost after your equipment kills an enemy. While some of these might be kind of fun to play with, such as like the Hot Foot, the gaining the speed boost after your equipment kills an enemy, the one for me personally that I would go for in this minor augment spot would be the Hard Target. One thing that counts towards the projectile damage would be like a Mangler cannon shot, and the amount of times where you might be running away or one shot and really need to get out of that situation with low health, this augment will go ahead and kick in. So maybe that Mangler shot that would have killed you normally would not kill you and you ended up living that situation. So hopping into the next perk we're going to be talking about, and that is Quick Revive. The majors for Quick Revive are EMT, reviving an ally allows them to keep all of the perks on their bleed out bar. Equivalent Exchange, if you have Quick Revive while downed, killing an enemy will revive you and remove Quick Revive. This can be done up to 3 times. And last but not least, Dying Wish, on lethal damage, become immune to all damage for 2 seconds and keep 1 health. Quick Revive is removed on use, this can be done up to 3 times, just like the prior augment Equivalent Exchange. The best one out of these 3 and the one that I'm going to be recommending is Dying Wish, and personally, I don't even think it's close. The amount of times that I've been saved by this augment and prevented from going down is a crazy number of times since the game has come out. Comparing it to the other 2, which EMT, that one's completely useless if you're on solo, first off. But second off, even with playing it on co-op, the Dying Wish is just way too strong to compare it to that at all. And comparing it with Equivalent Exchange number 1 requires you to go down, which we don't want when we could just use Dying Wish and prevent going down. And then when you are down, you do have to get a kill while downed to go ahead and revive and keep all your perks. So for me, the clear-cut winner here is Dying Wish. So moving on to the minors for Quick Revive here, we have Swift Recovery, reviving an ally increases both your movement speeds for a short time. Karmic Return, reviving an ally heals you to full health. And Slow Death, increase your time in Last Stand. For me personally, the only 2 that have a chance of being equipped in this minor augment spot for me would be Swift Recovery and Karmic Return. I don't think Slow Death is great, because most of the time, if you go down, you're either going to get revived or you're not. It's not really based on whether it takes a long time. So for the minor augment that I do see the most success running is always Swift Recovery for me. Although Karmic Return is very, very close to it, and I think you could run either one of those 2 augments in the minor slot there. Moving on to the next perk we're going to be looking at, it's the good old-fashioned classic Jugger Nog. And honestly, I think this might be the only perk where all 3 majors are very, very good. So first we have Probiotics, slightly increases maximum health with Jugger Nog. Turtle Shell, armor acts as a shield on your back, completely absorbing damage to your back, no damage mitigated when hit from the front. And Reactive Armor, when an armor plate breaks, nearby normal enemies are stunned for a short time. Honestly, out of all 3 of these, I don't think you could go wrong by picking any of the 3. The one that I personally use is Probiotic. It does give you 50 more health on top of the 250 that you normally get from getting Jugger Nog. It turns it into 300. But again, all three of these are very good in their own ways, and I think you could get a lot of beneficial moments out of all three of them. Moving on to the minor augments for Jug, we have Retaliation, deal bonus damage while health is low, Hardened Plates, armor plates have more damage mitigation, and Durable Plates, slightly increases armor durability. So the one that I think we could go ahead and roll out here is Retaliation, the deal bonus damage while health is low. We want an augment that affects us at all times, not only in certain situations if we could help it. This leaves us with Hardened Plates and Durable Plates, and honestly guys, one of these is significantly better than the other one. While Durable Plates might look good, the slightly increased armor durability, the durability doesn't really matter much when you get into the high rounds, and the zombies could hit you and take health off of you through the armor. So although with Durable Plates your armor might be staying up, you will probably still go down within 3, 4, 5 hits on the super high rounds. Whereas with the Hardened Plates, you get more damage mitigation, meaning that your health goes down lower through your armor plates. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you use the Hardened Plates for the minor augment for Jug. So the next perk we're going to be hopping into is going to be the perk that was actually added for the launch of Black Ops 6, which is Melee Macchiato. And for Melee Macchiato's 3 major augments, we have Espresso, all melee attacks are slightly faster, Vampiric Extraction, melee attacks heal a small amount of your health, and Triple Shot, your punch can hit multiple enemies at once. I have tested all 3 of these, and unfortunately the Triple Shot only applies to your normal like punch attack or your melee attack. It doesn't account if you're using a sword, knife, baseball bat. That will not work with Triple Shot. And while the major augment Vampiric Extraction isn't a terrible augment, it's actually pretty decent. Espresso just kind of blows these other 2 out of the water because that attack speed boost is very substantial. Especially over on the map Citadel, with the swords, it makes it very good. Moving on to the minor augments for Melee Macchiato, we have Stick and Move, backpedal speed is increased after a successful melee attack, Strength Training, your punch can one-hit kill normal enemies for more rounds, and Hidden Impact, melee kills reload a portion of your held weapon. Kind of like with the major augment Triple Shot, the Strength Training only applies to your punch normal melee attack, and it doesn't apply to any melee weapons that you're using such as knife, sword, etc. So for that reason, I would definitely not use this one. And honestly, Hidden Impact, melee kills reload a portion of your held weapon. I don't see much use for this. I don't think it helps you very much, so I would also eliminate that one. Which leaves us with the one that I would recommend here, the Stick and Move. The backpedal speed is actually really helpful, especially if you're doing a melee type build and you're going into the match focusing only using melee weapons as your main weapon. So moving on to the next perk, we're going to be talking about Speed Cola. And for the 3 main augments, we have Supercharged, Field Upgrades recharge a bit faster, Classic Formula, reload speed is even faster, and Phantom Reload. Weapon magazines are slowly refilled over time. For all 3 of these, none of these really like blow anything out of the water. I think they're all kind of mid for major augments. Out of these 3, the one that I do tend to go with is the Classic Formula. I could see an argument being made for using Supercharged. I don't think that's like a bad augment by any means, but personally I just value reload speed over field upgrade recharge. So looking at the minor augments, we have Speedy Roulette, the mystery box settles much faster, Quick Swap, swap weapons faster, and Fast Pitcher, deploy equipment faster. Out of these 3, I think using either Quick Swap or Fast Pitcher would probably be the most viable option. Speedy Roulette isn't very good. You could just hold a zombie at the end of the round if you're trying to hit the mystery box, which, let's be honest, who's hitting the mystery box in Black Ops 6? So yeah, I'd go with either Quick Swap or Fast Pitcher here. The next perk we're going to be looking into is the most recent perk that was added into Black Ops 6 Zombies, and that is Vulture Aid. Vulture Aid actually has some pretty good augments on the major and the minor side here. So starting with the major augments, we have Fetid Upgrade? Fetid? I think? On death, the zombies have a chance to create a gas cloud that charges your field upgrade. Smell of Death. On death, zombies have a chance to create a gas cloud that conceals you while standing in it. And the third one is Parting Gift. Vulture Aid ammo drops give more ammo to wonder weapons. So for me personally, it's between the first and the second one. The one that gives you ammo for the wonder weapons isn't exactly super helpful, being that ammo, you could just go to an ammo box and buy ammo for a wonder weapon, albeit it's expensive, but you could do it without a perk. So that leaves us with Smell of Death and Fetid Upgrade. Personally, I tend to go with the first one here. I do think that both of them are good in their own ways, but being able to just get your field upgrade charged up for free just by killing zombies and having random drop on the ground, I like that one better than the one that conceals you, personally. And then looking over here at the minor augments, we have Condor's Reach, auto pickup loot from further away, Carrion Luggage, critical kills have a chance to drop extra salvage, and Picky Eater. On death, zombies have a higher chance of dropping your current equipment. So this one is actually not close at all. Picky Eater is the best one on Vulture Aid, again, it's not very close. Because with that higher chance of dropping your current equipment, that includes stuff such as Casimir devices, monkey bombs, so you could just be getting a bunch of extra tacticals simply by killing zombies. I do highly recommend that you use this one on Vulture Aid. With only 3 perks left, we're moving on to our next perk here, which is PTSD Flopper. Or, PhD Flopper. Sorry, these SAM trials, they do something to you, man. They do something to you. Anyway, for the 3 major augments, we have Gravity MD, just falling from heights creates explosions, Dr. Ram, tactical sprint, knocks down and damages base zombies, and PhD Slider, sliding into enemies triggers explosions. So one thing that it doesn't say underneath PhD Slider right here is that you actually slide faster. This makes it the far superior major augment, being that it makes you traverse the map a lot easier and quicker. Although Dr. Ram is a pretty good augment, once you do get surrounded by zombies, sometimes you'll knock them over and sometimes you won't. So it's a little bit inconsistent there. So for the major augment spot here, I'm going to go ahead and recommend you use PhD Slider. For the minor augments, we have Environmentalist, become immune to environmental damage while sliding, EOD Technician, slightly reduce height and distance requirements for explosions, and Tribologist? Yeah, sliding distance and speed are increased. So again, kind of going off of what we said about the major augment, when you go ahead and pair PhD Slider with Tribologist, it is a match made in heaven. Every single time that you slide, as the description for a Tribologist says right here, you slide far and fast. And honestly, the other two, they're just not very useful, honestly. So I wouldn't recommend either of these, and for that reason I'll go ahead and recommend using Tribologist on PhD. For the second to last perk, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be talking about the Deadshot Daiquiri augments. The 3 majors are Deadhead, further increases critical damage, Dead First, deal double critical damage if an enemy is at full health, and Dead Again. Critical hits have a chance of adding a bullet to your magazine. So this one right here isn't very much of a competition. Unless you're using a sniper rifle, I wouldn't use anything other than Deadhead. It's only a 10% increase to the critical damage on top of Deadshot's base value, but you're not going to really encounter many enemies at full health unless you're using a one-shot weapon such as a sniper. So for those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and recommend you use Deadhead for the major augment here. And heading down to the minor augments, we have Dead Break, increases damage to armor pieces, Dead Draw, reduce hipfire spread, and Dead Set, reduce gun movement while doing advanced movement. Deadshot is kind of one of those where I don't think the augments are very good, other than a few. Dead Break is the easy go-to here. Dead Draw is kind of useless. Dead Set is very useless in zombies, so I would recommend you go ahead and put Dead Break on for the minor augment. So last and absolutely least, we have Elemental Pop. Honestly, the augments aren't even that bad. I just really don't like Elemental Pop. I'm gonna be real with you. For the 3 majors, we have Citrus Focus. If a weapon has an ammo mod applied, Elemental Pop will only activate that. Imperial Peach. Enemies that hit you have a chance to trigger a random ammo mod. And Electric Cherry, which is reloading creates an electrical damage discharge that damages and stuns nearby normal enemies. The more empty the magazine, the stronger the damage. The only 2 that I would recommend even thinking about using here would be Citrus Focus and Electric Cherry. Citrus Focus is fine. It's an alright augment if you want to go ahead and focus a build based on a certain ammo mod type. But overall, I definitely recommend going with the Electric Cherry here. I think it helps a lot with survivability, and it's just a lot more useful in my opinion. So for the final set of augments here today, we're going to be talking about the minor augments for Elemental Pop, which are Vulnera Bean, slightly increases enemy elemental weakness damage, Pineapple Blast, equipment can also trigger a random ammo mod, and Chillberry, slightly reduce all ammo mod cooldowns. The one that I would hands down recommend here would be Vulnerability, and that's because with the enemy elemental weakness, if you guys didn't know, each boss or mini boss on each map has a certain weakness. For example, Liberty Falls, the Abomination and the Mangler, the weakness is Napalm Burst, whereas the weakness for the boss on Citadel de Mor is the new Lightment. So what this does is this actually affects the damage that you output to them, making you kill them quicker, easier, and just making the game easier. So for that reason, I would definitely go ahead and recommend Vulnerability. We're gonna just act like we didn't hear that voice crack at the end there. Thanks. So that does wrap up our video for today. We talked about every single perk here. If this helps you guys out and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button because we are going to be posting more content here on the channel. We're just starting out. If you guys have any content that you maybe want to see, any recommendations, make sure to leave it down in the comments section. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.